All right, welcome into 1223 Studios, also known as the 420 GarageCast. You're on the corner of Stoner Avenue and High Street. And if you know where it is, get at me. I'm your pilot, or your captain, Texas Fire Ant, also known as the South Dallas Fire Ant, depending on what day you catch me on. And today we're going to be talking about what is SB3 and what does it mean for THC users in the state of Texas. Um, I've read the entire proclamation. I got a hard copy here. I have a copy of it here on my computer, so you can read it on silently while I read aloud. Some old teacher talk there. So what I done is I highlighted some areas that I would like to highlight, and we're gonna try to understand this just a little bit better together, because there is some gibberish in here that I don't understand, and I'm gonna admit it, because not only am I high, but I don't read gibberish very well. So let's try to get through this together. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the first thing we see highlighted on here is these are from Governor Abbott's his exact words. I'm gonna read them as they are on this paper so I don't mince them, and then later on I'll give you my opinion on what it all means. Keep in mind, again, I'm gonna add this disclaimer: I'm high, so what is that? What is my opinion got to do with anything? All right, so highlighted first of all, we'll say it says Senate Bill 3. We'll call it SB3 from here on out, just to shorten it. But it would never go into effect because of valid constitutional challenges. Litigation challenging the bill has already been filed, and the legal defects in the bill are undeniable. If I were to allow SB3 to become law, its enforcement would be enjoined for years, leaving existing abuses unaddressed. Way over my head here, okay? Texas cannot afford to wait. He says this conclusion is not speculative. The only other state to attempt a ban like this is Arkansas, and in 2023 they enacted SB 358, which, like this bill, would have criminalized hemp products that Congress expressly legalized in the 2018 Farm Bill. Okay, that federal law converted hemp and hemp products from contraband to lawful commodities. So this is what SB 3 and Lieutenant Dan Patrick is trying to reverse. And that would here entail make anybody who's in possession of hemp products, including farmers, criminals. I mean, okay, so lock them up. Wait, I'm only joking. Don't lock them up. I'm just saying that's what they're trying to propose here. I don't think he thought this all the way through. I think sometimes you just get to stick up your ass, and then you just can't get the stick out of your ass. I don't know. So that's what Dan Patrick's got going on right now. This opinion is mine and not the opinion of anybody else's. All right, some more highlighted stuff. We're gonna say, okay. So what is the legal problem with Senate Bill 3? As passed, it would prohibit anyone from manufacturing, distributing, or possessing consumable hemp products that may contain any amount of cannabinoid other than CBD or CBG, regardless of whether those products fall under the federally mandated threshold. Okay? And they give that example here right at the bottom. It therefore criminalizes what Congress expressly legalized in 2018 Farm Bill, and puts federal and state laws on a collision course. I think this is kind of what's going on in California. I got some buddies out there, and they're always talking to me about how the state and the federal government are split on possession of cannabis. I think it can be in a closed container, just like I guess a beer can be. But I mean, if you just got it in a baggie or something like that, I think they just lock the shit up, or lock you up or something like that. So Um, that's California. We're talking about Texas, though. Okay, so let's follow a little bit further down here. It says today, federal law promises Texas farmers that they may grow hemp without fear of criminal liability, but under SB3, the seeds used to grow those plants are consumable products currently available in stores, and they naturally contain cannabinoids, which is not an easy word to say. All right. What's a Texas farmer to do? Trust the federal government's promise or fear criminal liability from the state? That's a good question. It's kind of put those guys in a pickle. Okay, so if I flip my page, there's more down here at the bottom of yours, and it says it's SB3 not only invites potential criminal entrapment for Texas farmers, it would also make felons of other innocent Texas, like pharmacists stocking health supplements, veterans treating PTSD, such as myself, and parents caring for epileptic children with FDA-approved medications. Then it goes on to say possessing any amount of even trace amounts of THC will result in criminal penalties for all of the people listed above, despite federal law saying that no state shall prohibit the transportation of hemp products. So, it's coming down to it, and what they're going to do is they're going to try to, here, let's go down here to this part right here. They got a wild story in here that says, here we go. They're trying to blame this on a kid who ate too many what they call hemp gummies, and I don't know if that's THC gummies or what. So if you see in this article here, well, I looked it up, and it doesn't mention anything about the kid having any previous mental health issues or anything like that. Although I'm willing to bet that was an underlying factor, but it says here that earlier this year, the 15-year-old in Houston took a large amount of hemp gummies. When he suffered a bad reaction, he called 911, then shot his mother and his sister repeatedly. So, again, it doesn't say that this kid already had problems. I can tell you that I've consumed way too much THC a couple of times, and it doesn't make me hallucinate. It just makes me want to just get off the ride. It's not fun when you eat too much. You just want to go to sleep. So I didn't hallucinate anything. I didn't go shoot anybody. Now, different people have different reactions, but then that's based upon your mental health status. So they didn't say that, but I'm willing to bet that that's buried somewhere in this story that they're not gonna disclose, because if you want to have the argument in your favor, you try to blame the cannabis as much as you can, and we already know how they feel about mental health in this place, in the state of Texas, and in America, for as a matter of fact. So, all right, so let's keep on going here. They also said something about some kids giving some to some other kids at a high school. And come on now, what are y'all doing, man? For real? There used to be a time when spiking the drink was fun, but getting people high is a whole different thing. There's a difference between being high and being drunk. Okay? I can function when I'm high. Some people can't. Some people can function when they're drunk. I can't. So, I don't know. What are you doing? So, don't do stuff like that. I know you're high school students and you think that shit was awesome, but you kind of got yourself in a whole lot of trouble too, I bet you. So, all right. So, let's get to some more highlighted stuff. 2019, our federal government passed the Farm Bill. Legislators passed House Bill 1325, fixating on the cannabis sativa plant. Any plant variant with more than 0.03% by THC dry weight was deemed illegal marijuana, which is probably good weed, okay? Any variant with less than that, probably some Reggie, was deemed legal hemp, available to anyone regardless of age. And then it says, as it turned out, are we on that where you can see that too? As it turned out, probably got that cut off here, but so Okay, so the smaller amounts in the THC, lost myself there, but I'm back to could have been that, and the hemp could be multiplied and modified to make products stronger and more addictive to marijuana. Bad actors did what bad actors do. They took advantage and said that they engineered products with dangerously high concentrations as they marketed lollipops and other products designed to mimic candies. Oh, it's probably right up in here somewhere. Uh, yeah, it's up in here somewhere, up in here. So it's in this part, but and it says the current market is dangerously underregulated, and the children are paying the price. If SB3 is swiftly enjoined by the court, our children will be no safer if no law was passed, and the problems will only grow. So you're not going to stop it. You got to regulate it. That's what they're saying, um, and then make people accountable and punishable under the laws. That they're going to throw a whole bunch of this stuff down here at the bottom. Says that's why he's vetoing Senate Bill 3 and calling a special legislative session in July to craft those laws that does as much as possible to corral the problems while also being structured so that it can go into effect this year. This is where I'm going to start getting into my opinion on that. This SB3 is not going to pass, and they're going to keep at least hemp products legal in the state of Texas for the time being. Okay, so Texas must enact a regulatory framework that protects the public safety, aligns with federal law, and has fully funded enforcement structure and can take effect without delay. Legislators could consider a structure similar to the way alcohol is regulated, with strict enforcement by an agency such as the TABC. And a sample of the potential regulations may include some of the following. Okay, selling or providing THC to a minor must be punishable as a crime, which we all understand. Sales must be prohibited near schools, churches, parks, playgrounds, and other areas frequented by children. They have these same rules in for dope houses too, but I don't think they really pay attention that much. I think kids frequent the area where I purchase my cannabis. And I'd like to be able to buy it in the stores buy it in a place where I could be pulled over 20 minutes later driving down the street by some cop who's gung-ho about taking people to jail because they have a little bit of cannabis on them. So okay, products. This is where this is going to be really key to whether how they're going to moderate this in the state of Texas. Packaging must be child resistant. That's not what I'm talking about. Products must not be made, packaged, or marketed in a manner to attract children. Gummies, Fred Flintstone vitamins, whatever it is, lollipops that they talked about up here. The 15-year-old, if he'd have smoked, would he have shot his mom and his sister? No, probably not. So probably would have went somewhere and set his ass down and chilled out. That's my opinion, though. So they're saying that any store selling these products must have a permit and restrict access to anyone under the age of 21 with strict penalties for any retailer that fails to comply. Again, just like beer and liquor stores. Just like beer and liquor stores, they're saying sales must be limited to the hours between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. and prohibited on Sunday. So you get your weed Monday through Saturday, and the stores will be closed on Sunday. Operators' permit and warning danger signs must be posted at any store selling these products, and permit and registration fees must suffice to support robust enforcement and testing by the TABC in partnership with other agencies. So they're going to heavily moderate it. Like I said before, there's not going to be 25 stores open in the DFW area. They're probably going to have 5 or 6. You're probably going to have a real doctor, not the California doctor that's already signing your paperwork when you walk into the room. And they're not going to have edibles probably. They're probably just going to have flour and probably oil for the epileptic community out there, people who need that for their kids. So that's what we have on SB3 right now. We're just days away from that special session, so let's see how it plays out. My opinion is I think it's not gonna pass, and I think um, hemp will still be legal on a limited basis in the state of Texas, and hopefully they'll go ahead and legalize cannabis so that we can go to the stores and purchase it in a safe way, or at a safe way. Well, safe ways are gone in Texas, but in a safe manner that where we won't have to meet some dude named Steve in a Walmart parking lot and you find me dead because it all went wrong. There are some advantages, so that's what we have on SB3. That's all I'm going to say for right now. But if you want to know more about it, look it up. You can find out if more. You can have your own interpretation of it. In the meantime, like, subscribe, follow, chat, put your opinion in the chat. Let me know what you think. Until next time, I'm your boy Texas Fire Ant. We'll see you. Peace.